what's the behind the scenes story of Coronation and Core?
Yeah, core community outreach riding equipment is when it started, but we actually recently changed it to recreation equipment. So community outreach recreation equipment, so we can expand our horizons. It started out as like an idea. Basically, I had a chance to have a signature product, and I kind of went through the woes of being a professional snowboarder and getting receiving your first signature product, and then understanding like the process of like taking over like either a look or a board or a binding, something that you're attached to. What I learned was like, okay, so here's your favorite snowboard pant, here's your favorite snowboard, like what can we do to make it like a professional grade, and then like how much, like what can we add either technology wise or just like your name wise, and like add kind of more of a larger dollar sign on top of that product to prove that it's obviously worthy of professional grade snowboarding and riding, and therefore like consumers can be like, oh yeah, like pros ride it, I want to ride it. And I was like, oh sick, okay, cool, pretty mellow. They're like, yeah, so we're gonna put your name on it, and then the price tag's gonna go up, and then you get this royalty that comes out of that. And I was like, okay, cool. That's kind of crazy. Because I mean, yeah, obviously I want to make money off of snowboarding because it's my passion and that's what fuels me to be able to like push the boundaries of my snowboarding and hopefully snowboarding in the future. But overall, like I come from a place where I was riding hand-me-down gear from the moment I started snowboarding. Like snowboard outerwear was hand-me-down, boots were hand-me-down, and then when I was able to like actually progress into snowboarding, like um, being able to afford product was like non-existent. It wasn't like, oh, I need a new snowboard for Christmas. Mom, can you get it for me? Dad, can you help me? It was kind of like, yeah, I don't know if we can fit that in the budget. And then before you know it, like I'd like somehow I'd win a competition, I'd get enough money to buy a snowboard, I'd buy one, and then I'd break it in 2 weeks. And so that kind of was like that factor played into core where I was like, well, why don't we make a signature product that's affordable to the public so that like people can actually, that were in my shoes, access snowboarding a little bit easier, and so with my with my influence over the brands that I partner with, I worked on what core became, which was creating sustainable and affordable products that are tied back to who I am as a boarder, but then also doing community engagement, which means like hosting events and raising money for local nonprofits in snowboarding, skiing, all act like as much action sports and outdoor recreation as we can. I think the big tie-in is that like I come from Riverside, California, and I was like one of four snowboarders in my high school of like however many people. Um, and like, yeah, basically my introduction to snowboarding and the outdoors like changed my path of life like immediately. And my sights were set on like the outdoors and fresh air and just being around like-minded people, which then shaped my life completely in a different direction. Like I come from a place where there was gang banging and there was like hood stuff happening and hood stuff happening like near my home and even like on the property of my home, like, and the fact that I found action sports and snowboarding in the mountains like completely derailed where I could have been. And I felt like that was so impactful, like for me, like I know that there's other people that were also in my shoes that could, learn from this or be exposed to the outdoor industry and then just completely change the direction of their life. And that was kind of the concept of creating affordable product, so we get more people into it, and then hosting those events and raising money for local nonprofits because at the end of the day, minorities are kind of exposed to that kind of lifestyle. And if we can expose them to a different direction of life, like maybe we can shape the future of our industry.
Are there any dots that connect you to Desiree Melanson from Riverside?
We ended up connecting later in life. And like it was we had an age gap, but we grew up in kind of the same place doing the same things, not at the same time, but then later connected in life. And she was like my roommate for quite a few years living in Carlino's house in Woodstock, near your hood now, and yeah, I think that's and then we kind of like connected after that, and she became like a sister to me, you know, and will always be after that. Like she definitely like helped me in my snowboard career in the early stages, you know.
Did you have like any like specific breakthrough moments at Bear?
I did the first minor threat shoot for Snowboarder Mag with Bridges, and Bridges invited me after riding with we rode with Bradshaw for a day. I remember like marketing somehow like word got to like the whole mountain was just like Marty at marketing's looking for you because he has a question. I was like, oh no, what did I do? Like I got in trouble, you know, like 12 years old, and they're like, hey, we Pat Bridges Snowboarder Mag wants you to do this shoot, and yeah, I did that as a kid. Met like the Fergs and the Kotzenbergs, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, I mean, that was kind of sick. That's how I met Pat. And then, yeah, riding with Chris, like following him around. And he was like really, really cool to me as a kid. And like, I definitely like copied everything that he did. Like, I would follow him down the run and just do every trick that he did or tried to the best of my ability. Um, and then, yeah, and then started entering rail jams and started kind of like placing and winning here and there. And then actually, I think it was like probably the last rail jam I ever did was the Arbor Face Off, which was like a uh, an event tour that happened for 2 years that was put on, and they would have like two professional snowboarders from Arbor come and judge like a game of snow at your resort. And Ian Sams was like, "Hey man, like we're the whole Arbor team's coming to Bear. Like you should ride this board um, for the week, and then you should enter the event and see how you do. Like crew is already kind of psyched on you, and like I've been telling them like they should put you on or whatever, like start hooking you up." And I was like, all right, cool. So I rode Arbor boards for the week. It was like a free snowboard to ride, which I was stoked because I was like using rental boards, and yeah, I ended up winning that competition. I won like a game of snow against like 40 kids, and I got like $500, like a pair of bindings and a brand new board. So I ended up having two boards and another pair of bindings, and then $500. And then Ian was like, "Hey, we're going on a film trip, um, and TM says Brad Farmer wants you on the trip. Like you can come." And I was like, it was my first trip ever, so kind of like led straight into filming streets with like light street fun trip with like Eli Weiner, Ian Sams, and Austin Young. Called it was called Vandalarium, and we like went up the whole West Coast and synced up with some other riders like Joe Boz and Scotty Vine, and yeah, it was pretty sick. I was probably like 16 or something.
What's the best feeling you've ever had on your snowboard?
I did like one of like a cool hand plan I did a long time ago, filming for Reckless Abandon, the Snowboarder Mag movie with Bodie Merrill and heaps of crew. John Ray made it, and yeah, John Ray and Pat Fenelon shot this clip of me doing like a hand plant to double nose grab on a wall in Park City. And I kind of specifically remember like one that was like the best feature I've ever done that trick on because it had this like immense amount of free fall. And yeah, just doing the trick and grabbing nose and then going like this and you're like super inverted, just falling. And then your natural instinct is like to land on your feet and you just bring it back. And I think like I haven't found a feature ever since to do a hand plan of that like that capacity to like have the free fall to like have instincts kick in to land on your feet. I don't know. It was just like a kind of a crazy feeling and just really cool to be going down like tucked all crazy and like going down almost like on your face and then just being like boom, letting go and then just like stomping.